News, my lovely, wonderful people. It's happening. Chimamanda introduces Peter Obi as winner of presidential election in her lecture at the US University. So that's Chimamanda, our very own sister. And despite the Supreme Court upholding Tinubu's victory, she introduced, Peter Obi as the lawfully, I didn't want to say lawfully wedded wife, as the lawful, should have been president. Yesterday, we saw how Nigerian Supreme Court, for the first time in a long time, hurriedly, somebody say hurriedly, introduced or started a case on Monday, announced by Wednesday evening that the final judgment will be on Thursday, and they were so prompt and quick. By Thursday, say 3 o'clock, it was all done and dusted. And today, we are all watching to see, how Nigeria will turn out. With everything going on, we know that it is only God that can truly help this nation become a better place. So despite all and in all going on, Chimamanda introduced, Ashiwaju, she did not introduce Ashiwaju as the president of Nigeria. Rather, she introduced Peter Obi. Yes, Peter Obi. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. Let's get all the details with all that is currently on ground. Chimamanda introduced Peter Obi as Nigeria's lawful president in her lecture at the US University. During her lecture at Princeton University in the United States, award-winning Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi introduced Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, during the February 25th presidential election as the winner of the election. As reported by Sahara Reporters, the writer talked about her career and the motivation behind her work. She also shared how the church, especially the Catholic Church, influenced her writing. Mr. Peter Obi was part of the audience receiving the lecture when she introduced him. You would recall that the writer wrote an open letter to President Joe Biden, the President of the United States of America, sharing her opinion on the presidential election and all that came with it. She revealed that she wrote the letter to bear witness. According to her, we live in a world that takes pleasure in distorting history, even if it's recently happening. We need to make known what's going on. The key point here is that she introduced Peter Obi, as the man who should have been Nigeria's president. And, a lot of talks have come out of that with a lot of people, saying, is that correct? Should she have introduced Peter Obi as the Nigerian's president? So what are we saying? Yesterday, we saw what happened in Nigeria, where the Nigerian Supreme Court went ahead and introduced Ashiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, uphold his victory that was initially talked about by the Presidential Election Tribunal. We saw all that followed and went on with that. Chimamanda, a brilliant writer, she wrote to the US President Joe Biden some time ago with regards to Ashiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the election and all that, it is all entailing. And, going to the Presidential Election Tribunal, one would have thought that, they would look at it, and look at everything. For crying out loud, INEC did not, electronically transmit election results. Yes, INEC did not do anything of that. Did not commit results to IREV. INEC collected over 400 billion, okay, saying that they want to electronically transmit results and make this process as transparent as possible. And everybody said, okay, with the level of amount of money that has been given, guess what, sweetheart? It did not happen. No, it did not. And so everybody began to ask the same question: where did the money go? Again, where the money went is to whom it may concern. Those who are behind the scene, who call the shots, okay, who, have the money bag, know what they are doing. However, as Nigerians, the law mandates us to respect the ruling of the appeal of the Supreme Court, which happens to be the highest law court authority in the land. But that is not to say we cannot condemn when we feel that injustice has been done. Take, for instance, what happened in Imo State. In this country, we also what happened in Imo State. A man called Hope Uzodinma became the governor of a state. How? Sweetheart, I cannot tell you. I don't know what to say to you. How he became the president, beg your pardon, the governor of Imo State. Then very recently, the Supreme Court woke up one morning and said they are going to look into the case. Probably buttons were pressed here and there. They came back again to say they will look into the case, but after initially they fixed what should normally be the normal thing. They fixed a date that case should have been completed, done and dusted before the governorship election. So we know if Hope is a participant in that election. The buttons were pressed. And before you could say Jack Robinson, the same Supreme Court came back again. The same Supreme Court, not a different one, and said it will be done after the governorship election. Just exactly what's happening right now. We see that they've gone ahead and they've sworn Tinubu in. For crying out loud, if you don't know, I will tell you. Tinubu has what we call immunity. The executive in this country controls the finances. And if you know what money is, sweetheart, you will not joke. If you know what money is, it will take God for you to say, you know what, I will not mind every and anything going on, despite, in fact, in spite of all that is happening. If you know what money is, if you know. So leave us a comment. Let's hear your thoughts. Don't forget to please like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. God bless. Have a fantastic and a lovely day. And from us is bye for now. Remember, you have a voice. Bye-bye.